Just because you dated it doesn't mean you have to become it. What do I mean by that? Let's take a moment. Here's the storyline: guy meets girl, girl meets guy. Right. He's a familiar spirit. What do you mean he's a familiar spirit? You've dated guys like him before. You know, he's cool, he's a bit rough around the edges, probably a road man, street man, talks a certain way, you know, and he's got a certain swag, charm that you're familiar to. So you allow him into your space, right? Your beautiful safe haven. And then he starts to show certain attributes where you think, hold on, this is not who I am. This is not what I like. I'm not an argumentative person. Why am I always arguing? Why is my peace feel disturbed? Because you have experienced that before. You've experienced that in a different relationship with somebody else. So it's familiar to you, right? Hang on. Why am I pouring out my heart, sending these beautiful texts, but I'm not getting anything back. I'm just getting like, okay, what you doing, what you want. You don't mind that because you experienced it before. What am I doing? He says he's only talking to me, but I feel like he's got about 10, 20 other girls that he's chatting to. What am I doing? It's all right, he's a gallus. I've experienced that before. We have to stop. We've got to say no. We've got to pause on that and reflect on who we are choosing to be. Just because something is familiar doesn't necessarily make it right for you, right? And there has been times where in my reflection, I've dated somebody, especially in my early years, where I've taken on their attributes and their ways because I'm so in awe of this person. And then when I come to realize and then thinking, hold on, but that's not who I am. I've just taken on their ways because I like them so much or whatever it is, you know what I mean? And there's nothing wrong in being in friendship groups or in relationships and you learn each other and you take on each other's ways and things like this, but you have to discern in what is good and healthy and what is actually toxic and not productive. And just because somebody has treated you a certain way in life doesn't mean to say now you have to carry that through and then treat other people that way, you know what I mean? Because you could ruin potential good friendships, relationships, just because you're operating in a system that you've learned from before that wasn't serving you. It's not good for your mental well-being. What did it do for you? It didn't do anything good for you. So why are you now in that frequency thinking that you can then treat other people that way when people have just come to love you, but now you're hurting them because you've been hurt before? That doesn't make sense. Just because you dated a gallist doesn't mean to say you now have to go through life being a manist. Just because you dated someone who was emotionally unavailable doesn't mean that you now have to be emotionally unavailable to people that actually just want to love you and take care of you. It doesn't make sense. And this is what happens when you are unevenly yoked with people that aren't good for your well-being, that you was never supposed to be in alignment with, but because you're operating or was operating in a frequency of scarcity, fear, lack of self-worth and all of these things, you found your vibrational match in that sense. And if you didn't come together to heal, to love, to grow, to nurture, to know one another in for your highest good, you would then leave residue of dirt and disgustingness that you then will need to clean up, right? If you don't clean it up, you just go, right, with the baggage of the friendships that didn't work out and what you learned there, baggage of this, and then you reenact it, you replay it. And if you don't take the time to be self-aware and work on yourself, you would then live out these things. You would live them out constantly. You're thinking, why do I always attract like friends like this, or why do I always attract guys like this, or why do I attract guys that just want to sleep with me but they don't want to be in a relationship, or why do I attract guys that just charm me, but don't want to actually be genuine? Why do I attract guys, and why until you start pause and think, hold on, and think, where am I operating within myself? Am I operating in a frequency of what was? Have I taken on some of the attributes of the people that I have dated before me, or some of the friendship groups that I've been in that didn't serve me? Now, when this person meets me, are they actually meeting me, or the 20,000 people that I've been around before? The 20,000 friends that I've had before? The relationships that I had before? Are they meeting me for me? This is why it's very important. It's imperative that you take space and time to really align with who you are, especially after a friendship breakup, a relationship breakup, whether you've left a job, anything. Just take time to reconnect back to you, to your source energy of who you are, so you can know your moral compass, you can know your ways, your values, what makes you happy, what makes you feel confident, who you are. Because if you don't align to your truth, you will go through life being Sarah when really your name is Jessica. You go through life being Jim when really your name is John, and that's not productive. It's not healthy. You've got to let go, to stop carrying these people in your mind, your heart, your spirit, especially if they did not serve you for your highest good. If they did not serve you for your highest good and you're still carrying them, you're carrying around a low frequency that's going to bring down your energy. Then you're going to keep attracting more people that remind you of that, remind you of where you're existing. So if you want more, and if you want to be better, and you want to attract better, you've got to become better. You've got to vibrate in a higher frequency. Whether you dated a gallist, you don't need to become a manist. You don't need to become the things that hurt you. You don't need to become the things that hurt you. You can allow people to love you truly, deeply, and sincerely. You don't need to walk with a bop, right? Because you grow around people that walk with a bop. You don't need to wear your trousers extremely low, making everybody see what's on show. You don't need to drive like, say, you're a gangster. If that's not who you are, but you've been around that, you can strip away, you can shed away all of these things that you've learned along the way if it doesn't serve your highest good, right? Take it from me, I am an artist, I'm a performer, actor. It is in our duty, our job to embody characters, right? And tell stories and be storytellers. So when something is not working, if that doesn't work for the character, you've got to let it go. You've got to say, nah, this is not working. I don't feel like the character will do this. Let that go. You've got to be intentional and make decisive decisions about what your character wants to do. Why do they look that way? Why are they writing that? Why do they sit like that? Why do they talk like that? What happened? Right? And this is the same in real time. When you connect with people, you don't know why they are the way they are, why they've taken on the things that they've taken on, and you may adopt those ways and it doesn't serve you. So let it go. Take time to figure out why you do what you do for you, and create a protection, a frequency around you where nobody can come into your space and disturb your peace, your harmony. You know what I mean? Your vibration. Choose to vibrate higher and you will attract better. Choose to lead with love and live in the frequency of love and you will attract that. And anything that can't match your energy, it will fall off because you can't even be bothered to stay. You'll be so authentic in who you are that you will annoy people that are not living in their truth, and people will just love your vibration because they're like, oh my gosh, she's living in her truth, or he's living in her truth, I'm living in my truth, and you will naturally just and it will be amazing. Everyone will just like your energies will just Harlem shaking all around the world, you know what I mean? So yeah, lead with love. Walk in love, let go mentally, spiritually, physically, all of the things, let it go if it doesn't serve you. Let those things go. Everything has its time and its season and its reason. So make sure you choose you. You can choose to change. It's okay to change. It's okay to want better and be better.